The day has come to a close. The classes are over, and Katie and Victoria, you have reunited at home. Mortimer, you've gone in search of this strange student that seems to sneak off every now and again.
Mortimer's just like, what? Is he like becoming one with the shadows? Where is he hiding?
And then you see him run from tent to tent. You chase after him.
Yeah, right before Mortimer starts chasing after him, he's just like, maybe he should cut back on the coffee.
That's sacrilege.
Blasphemy.
And Mortimer just takes off after him.
1 sanity point for coffee insults. Okay, you take off after him, and he seems to start running a little bit faster, hearing you behind him.
It's not creepy at all having a random stranger run after you in the middle of the night.
Mr. Henry, I just want to talk about what you're doing at the military buildings, and if you've seen anything interesting.
Roll dexterity.
He's just, I would prefer not to be playing chase.
Roll dexterity.
I feel weird. He's like, I feel weird. I rolled a 21 and my dexterity is 55.
Okay. You just barely save out of being tripped by a man clad in all black. He whips around as you turn and see him, and he keeps his head down, and this wide brim hat covers his face, and you see him pull a gun. Bang. Roll dexterity.
Well, that escalated quite quickly.
Is this the comment because I made that comment about this feels more like a slow roll intro?
All right, I got a 38 out of 55.
You move out of the way, but the bullet wasn't aimed at you. It was aimed behind you. And you hear a thud. And then you feel a thud against your head as you fall to the ground. Roll Constitution.
Oh, wow. I'm like 3 under. I rolled a 67 and my Constitution is 70.
You don't go out, but you do go down. You hit the ground and your head is ringing from getting whacked with the butt of the gun. And you see this man run over to the one that you were chasing. Henry turns onto his back just as the guy comes over and starts dragging him off.
Oh, this is...
This place has shitty security.
You watch in horror as there's nothing really you can do. Your head is hurting so bad that any pressure you put onto your arms, it just hurts more and more, and it's unbearable. So you stay down. You wouldn't really be able to run and do anything. You'd get shot before you could. You see him drag slowly off. Nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to have heard the gunshot. No one seems to have heard the gunshot?
Wait. And as he's just, Mortimer is going to be like, oh, I think I have a concussion. Wait a minute. Is really no one reacting to the gunshot?
There's no alarm. There's no even shouts of surprise or people running to see what happened. It's about 15 minutes later when Victoria and Katie are walking and they see Mortimer on the ground, sprawled out, unconscious. You know the student from class. He's Mortimer, a little eccentric, but at the same time he does lots of good cultural investigation.
Victoria just rushes over, starts attempting to check pulse, rouse, look around.
Okay.
There is an instinctive panic at seeing someone she knows unconscious with I'm assuming there's some blood going on here on the ground, and she doesn't understand why the panic is so intense and why it calms when she sees Katie's okay. But she's just immediately like, Mortimer, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mortimer's like eyes are gonna like open up. First thing he just thinks is he's gonna say it out loud is, "Oh, thank goodness somebody heard the gunshots." And did you happen to alert the authorities?
You might have hit your head quite hard. Try not to move.
I didn't hear anything. We were just walking. It's been quiet.
Miss Victoria, that very wiry gentleman, everyone was saying it was quite odd. Mr. Henry, he was taken away by a man wearing all black, and he fired a gun and then hit me in the back of my head. And I do believe if you inspect my head, you will find some form of wound that would probably correlate with blunt force trauma.
It certainly looks like you hit your head quite hard. Or is there anything that I can roll to see if there's anything I can roll? I'm not gonna roll it. I have a 1 in medicine.
Do you have anything in first aid? I know it's a 30% outright.
Oh, yeah, I've got 50 in first aid.
Go ahead and roll the first aid.
Hey, 40 out of 50. Not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's passing.
Yeah, just trying to, patch him up, stop the bleeding, make sure he's not going to immediately die, try to figure out how much of what he just said was probably a figment of his imagination after getting hit in the head really hard.
He looks to be okay. You do some tricks to make sure that he's not concussed, and he passes all of your tests, and then as soon as he gets up on his rear and is sitting up, you check his head and you see kind of a bump up where it looks like he took either a stone to the head, something hit him pretty rough.
Alright, I'll admit you're probably not making up as much as I hoped you were when you started talking. We should get him back to our place. That bump looks nasty, and I don't know where else to take him. If Henry was attacked, do you see where he was taken? What direction, where did this happen?
I do apologize, Miss Victoria, but that is unfortunately what I did not see. I was going out right as he was taking Mr. Henry off. But there's something very alarming, though. Because is there any indication of, how much time has passed to Mortimer?
It's only been a couple minutes, you think. Sun's still in about the same position it was. It's setting, but at the same time, hasn't completely set.
That's still very alarming because Miss Victoria, even you would think Henry would have started screaming or something, yet no one is reacting. It just seems very odd. And after I was told by this elderly lady when I met the chief over in the indigenous people's village and telling me about these dark energies, but you get the idea. Most people are talking about the bad juju or something, but what is going on?
Roll,
Victoria's exchanging a look with Katie, because I know we don't remember anything that happened in season 1, but I feel like we get to... The world has weird things in it. We're aware of that.
Go ahead and roll intelligence.
Okay.
Okay. Success?
Success, 59 out of 60. So I just make it.
The way that he's saying all of this and the way that he is reacting to it, he seems to have witnessed something that may or may not have happened. In his head, it has absolutely happened. This is something that he is reacting to in a way that one would react to that. And in y'all's mind, it is processing as that. Now, the gunshot that he seems to say, you haven't heard a gunshot. It's a small camp. You would have heard a gunshot.
We should get you inside and discuss this gunshot out of we should get you inside and get you checked.
You know what? I will agree, yes. Let's go inside, in case there are more men in all black.
How did you get surprised by someone in all black when it's still sunny outside? Never mind, we don't live too far from here, and I can ring if you need additional medical attention. We've got basic supplies.
Now, since my head's feeling a little better, I have finally moved away from the spooky supernatural line of thinking. I'm thinking more clearly. What exactly was Mr. Henry working on? Because could that have been some government agent? Because Henry was researching something that he should not have been?
As far as I know, he was just interested in sonar. I don't know about any research he might be doing. I picture like you were saying that as we were lifting you up and we're like walking you back to our little condo bungalow, which is a cute little place, and there's a slightly surprising number of cats just milling about.
Yes, you're not allergic to cats, are you? Good, Mr. Mortimer, sir.
Oh, of course not. I actually love cats, and I love all animals, so no allergies. Now, I have been thinking more about this gunshot thing. Now, I'm starting to question myself, which is quite odd because I know what I saw, but you have to go by the biological and with no one reacting, and as Miss Katie stated, this camp is only so large, you would have definitely heard something.
Roll sanity.
Oh yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, as we've set you down at the kitchen table and I'm like fixing a little ice pack to put on the back of your head. And...
Oh, nope, that's a fail. I got 75 out of 70.
Oh, buddy.
No. You took one sanity loss from seeing what you did. And as it actualizes in your head, there was no gunshot. In fact, Henry wasn't there. You tripped over a stone and hit your head as you fell backwards. And you crawled on your stomach a little ways. But you didn't see Henry, and you didn't see a gunshot. But then there's this clicking in your head.
Clicking?
Oh,
Like Last of Us clicker clicking, or...
Yes.
Oh...
What?
Uh-oh. Here's the thing. Mortimer is actually going to go as quiet as possible and hold his breath as he looks around.
Thanks, I hate it.
As you turn to the window, you swear you just missed something move past it. And you look to the front window and you swear you keep missing something walk past. The air gets real tight around you and you feel your chest kind of get tight. And then Mortimer, you feel everything loosen up and the atmosphere around you gets light again. And that clicking stops.
Did we notice any sort of shifts in his posture?
You saw him react to the tightness in his chest. He started holding the solar plexus, the center of his chest, and he started keeling over a little bit, but it was very brief.
You alright? Do you have any, history of heart issues or something? Do we need to call a doctor?
There's something with this island. I'm curious and terrified at the same time. What did I sign up for?
Chance for research and education? Nodding at Katie to go get the phone and call in a doctor or somebody.
Katie comes back with a mug of tea and is like, I know you Americans don't choose to property, but it will help. Just one moment. Here, hold Petunia, and she'll drop a Maine Coon mix into your lap that is purring very loudly before going to call the doctor.
Giving her little gentle scratches behind her ears, and this is when Mortimer looks and goes, Miss Victoria, has there been any reports of people suffering from hallucinations, insomnia lately?
No.
Not that I'm aware of. Some of my students have claimed to suffer insomnia, but I think it's just them staying up, drinking, or having too much fun, getting into trouble. No actual reports.
Mortimer takes a deep breath, holds it for a few seconds, lets it out, and goes, before I go on and on making things seem more and more kooky, allow me to explain how the day progressed. Mortimer relays how he met the fisherman, discussed, went to the elder, and was talking about those small islands and the different idols, mounds that are there, and then about how the elderly woman talked about you shouldn't go there, dark energies, and he has to leave. And then that led to what he believed at first was him chasing Henry, but maybe he was rattled by what that old lady has said to him and was in his head, but usually supernatural talk doesn't get to him because Mortimer respects that, but he knows that there's always an explanation.
Might have been the fair folk playing a bit of a trick on you. It's been known to happen, but don't worry, you're safe here. Which I feel like Victoria specifically has... This house is worded in several ways against Faye. She doesn't know why she's so paranoid.
If you let her, she's going to put an iron horseshoe in your pocket and will say it will protect you from anything. I think holy water and salt is the better way to go, much more portable, but to each their own.
A horseshoe doesn't have to be that big to be useful.
Mortimer also makes sure to explain how the elder, Mr. Kai told him about how the people who made all those mounds are not members of the indigenous tribe. They are a different people. Is there possibly another group here on the island that is undocumented?
It's quite possible. A lot of the documentation's been done by a very specific group of people who aren't the best at making sure they've got their facts straight or making sure they're actually accurately representing everything.
Just say we British are sloppy, dear.
Not all. You're meticulous enough to almost make up for it. It's less of a comment on her research skills and more of a commentary on the quality of work that some of the British historians have done. Though there are some individuals, certainly, who have done a better job, but there's a lot of things that get skimmed over and missed.
I know there are cultures that can make, powders that they can, make airborne, that can make you under mind control, can do some form of mental hypnosis and all that. And now this has me curious as if this is possibly what I could have had happen, but the elder, Mr. Kai, he was very kind and forthcoming, so I just don't see him doing such a thing.
Are we familiar with Kai at all?
You know of the village, and you know of the elder. You've had discussions with them before, mostly just, could we get some fish from your fishers? Yeah, but could we also get some more of this? It's more of a take relationship between y'all and the camp, between the camp and them.
I feel like Victoria tries to also swap stories and get to know the people, but it's also very likely she hasn't gotten to know a whole lot, because I don't know if we've been here particularly long, and she's been busy and is sometimes just a little bit ADHD. Just a little.
Well, there was one other thing when he was telling me about these idols and mounds on these small islands, is that the people of the tribe, they do not take anything from those islands, and if they do, they will immediately burn them.
I mean, it's basic respect. It's not particularly nice to take things that aren't yours. Can't say I'm overly familiar with them, though. Katie, do you know anything? Have you come across anything in your research?
Most of the research I found, it's a bunch of historical documentation done by old crusty white British men, who, basically chalked it up to these people thought trees had spirits and that was bad.
There's been two things that popped up in this conversation that Victoria's just instinctively trying to not think about, which is the powders that mess with memories and mess with your brain, and trees with spirits.
Not the trees with spirits.
She's like, nope, not gonna think about it.
There comes a knock at the door.
Sure, I'll open it.
Ah, Miss Hope. It's good to see you. Is your research partner in?
I'm over here.
Miss McGuire, it's good to see you. And I don't think I've had the pleasure. What's your name?
Good sir, my name is Mortimer Morley, but you may call me Morty, if that would be easier.
Okay. Anyways, I think you two have something that we should probably discuss.
If it's a whole lot of questions, then yes.
I mean, we've always got questions and curiosity. Or did we accidentally steal someone's cat again? I promise we don't do that on purpose.
You might not.
Shush. It was one time. Absolutely was not one time.
No. Did you speak with one of the students? Oh, what's his name? Henry? Today.
Well, yes, he was in one of my classes.
Did he approach you about anything new that he's found?
He approached me with a thought he was curious about, and I offered a chance, since this is one of the first times he's shown actual interest in my class, to get some extra credit by further researching. I think he got inspired by my presentation on civilizations and people who may have been lost underwater.
Interesting.
Like Atlantis?
Yes. It's a fun thing to theorize about. I don't know if that one in particular exists, but it is a very fun, interesting thing to think about. And there have been incidents of villages and cities being flooded by lakes and rivers, so I figured since he's interested, maybe feed into that a little bit.
Well, did he give you anything? What sort of questions did he ask?
I have player questions of who is this person? Who are they? How do I know them? What do we know about this person?
Yes, this is Eric Cassidy. He's the head researcher and one of the generals at station on the island. He's American.
Sir, why aren't you just asking Henry these questions himself? I'm sure it'd be easier just to hear from him what he was researching.
Well, Henry is currently in naval lockup. He is in the brig for sneaking aboard a U.S. Navy vessel.
Apologize, he probably got a little over-enthusiastic about the idea of continuing the research and wanted to do something on his own.
While that is something that I admire about most of our students here, that sort of action is dangerous. He'll probably be out in the morning. I'll see what I can do about getting him back, but try to keep him under wraps. Understood, McGuire?
Of course. I didn't mean to encourage anything of that sort. I'll redirect him a bit to the library and books. Perhaps with Katie's help we can find some avenues of research that will get him in a little less trouble.
Sounds good. Now you, Morley, was it?
Mortimer, good sir? Yes, Morley, yes.
Whatever it is. Need your help out here. We got some artifacts just coming in. We need some extra hands.
Oh, happily, I would be more than happy to examine the artifacts. Where are they being stored?
They're coming up from the docks now.
And where are they from?
We're not quite sure yet. New shipment. British brought them over for us.
If you need any extra hands, I potentially will have some time tomorrow. My class load's a lot lighter, so I've always had some interest in archaeology.
Continue as normal. Team B's got this one. Team B, is more military brass than it is actual people who know what they're doing.
Yeah,
actually,
I've got a really high archaeology score, that's why I'm just like, but...
I have a 61, so Katie is also
70.
Good sir, I would like to say having a extra pair of eyes to examine, and Miss Victoria does have an expertise in mythology, and she could help provide a different perspective when examining these artifacts, so I think it would be quite imperative for Miss Victoria and Miss Katie to join as well.
Roll persuade.
Happily.
I've also had some experience in archaeology myself. Nothing big, but I know my way around a dig site and how to handle artifacts.
My persuade is 10, and I rolled a 2.
Oh, and well, Oxford, one of the oldest libraries in existence with many artifacts that we had to take care of and everything, but what would I know?
Indeed. It's not like we were given special access to some of those areas of the library in our time there.
Alright, you convinced me. A cursory look. Make sure the research comes to me directly.
Of course.
The British are being strange about these artifacts. Apparently they picked them up off of a Japanese ship, but who knows? Who knows what's going on? Y'all have a good night. Morley with me.
Mortimer gets up and follows behind him.
And that's where we're gonna end.
Alright.
Oh, boy.
Yeah!
Oh, man.
We have a
And
mission.
Victoria just casually lying through her teeth. She didn't lie. She just didn't tell him.
That's why I didn't have you roll anything.
Yeah, I did lie to Mortimer.
Mortimer wasn't in a condition to know if you were.
Also, because she's like, I just met you. I'm not gonna narc on my student. You have been listening to Beyond the Crumbling Veil, a Call of Cthulhu 7e actual play podcast by Styx Helix Productions, as part of Pseudonym Social, a creative podcast network changing reality one story at a time. If you're enjoying this show, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes or Podchaser or wherever you're listening to help other people find this lovely spooky tale. Beyond the Crumbling Veil is DM'd by John Bowman of Styx Helix Productions, with Brian, Fennec Foxfire, and Brianna Jean. The show is also produced by Brianna Jean. If you don't want to wait to find out what happens next, you can get early access to our episodes by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/pseudonymsocial. You can also find out more information about our other shows at pseudonymsocial.com and support our various productions.